Hello, hello, welcome. This is the July meetup for Southern Fried DNN. Welcome to everybody that's joining us online right now. And for those of you watching YouTube afterwards, I hope you find the content helpful. Always looking for new ideas. So if you have an idea that you want to present on or head up a conversation about or anything like that, reach out to me or anybody really in the DNN community, and they can get you over to the right people to get you plugged in. Doesn't have to be super formal. Sometimes it's a presentation. Sometimes it's just a hangout on a certain subject or something like that. But we would love to have you and come and let us know in the comments below if you got ideas as well, if you want to share those. Ryan Moore is maybe joining us at some point tonight, but congratulations to Ryan. He has finally sold his house, it looks like. So he is kind of in the middle of the moving phase of getting things together and scrambling and all of that. So he may pop in and out, but he may not be here this evening. So I know you guys miss him. Anyways, but good things going on for him. They've been trying to sell for a while now, and finally got it done. So and is that him joining? No, that's Daniel Villades. Okay, welcome Daniel. Glad you're able to join.
Hello.
So tonight, let me see. Let me get my screen shared here, and we'll go over a few things here at the beginning before we get into the main presentation tonight, which will be by Marco. Marco is back with us. He was with us last month. Had an excellent presentation, and this is kind of piggybacking on that and going into a bit of how AI could be used for helping you with your search engine optimization, keyword management, and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm not going to say any more because it'll sound stupid if I say it, Marco. It's going to be your thunder, and I'm not stealing it. So we're looking forward to the presentation. A few things going on in the community here. So just yesterday, I believe it was, the release candidate for DNN 9.13.4 released or dropped or was posted or made available. So if you're interested in getting a little bit of testing done with the release candidate, feel free to go out to GitHub here and check out the release candidate. You can download the various install and upgrade packages and things like that. This is not meant for production use at this time. It's just a release candidate, but we would love for as many people as possible to kick the tires on this and make sure there's no major gotchas or bugs or anything like that we might see in here. And you can report those issues right back into GitHub on the issues tab here if you happen to experience any with that. You can also leverage, for those of you that don't know, I don't know. I just always assume people know this, but I'll bring it up just in case you don't. A very quick tool to do this testing with is MB QuickSight. It's a desktop application that you can install on Windows. And in less than a minute, have your, if you have all the prerequisites on your computer, which you can kind of look at the requirements here and see, you can install DNN in less than a minute. And you will also see in there that the release candidate will show up as an option for you to install. So that's probably the quickest way to get a release candidate on your machine and test it out and kick the tires. So Daniel, do you have anything? Don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but do you have anything that needs to be highlighted about this release candidate here? So yeah, to put you on the spot, hey, do you have
Yeah, you're
anything?
kind of putting me on the spot, but yeah.
Well, you
Uh,
have to prefix everything by saying not to put you on the spot, but to put you on the spot.
I mean, I think the release note says it all, but yeah, a lot of dependency updates. There's a large list. We're trying to be as proactive as we can for security and performance reasons and all that. There's a lot of it's a maintenance release. But there's a couple enhancements, sorting users, performance improvements. There's a bunch of little
This one's
enhancements
actually a
and bug fixes.
that one's actually a pretty cool one there.
Hmm.
If you're in the persona bar and you've got a lot of users on your website, you can now sort the users in roles from A to Z. So that's really a helpful feature in addition to
And
the search that was already there.
and the same in the recycle bin. You can now
Mm-hmm.
sort
Yep.
by deletion date, which was so first that was the wrong date. The date that was there was not when it was deleted, basically. So now it's the deletion date, and you can sort by it, so we can quickly find what was deleted recently versus older stuff. Very useful for cleanup.
You guys want to live on the edge for, less than a minute here and just grab MV QuickSight and we'll install the release candidate. How about that? I
Yep,
just fired it up. That would be nice. And we can actually see those couple of things in action there. So let's live on the edge and do it. So here I've selected the release candidate, and that is the 9.13.4. Nothing special had to be done. You just open up MV QuickSight. You may or may not see the local install package depending on how your settings are set up, but do next. And we will go ahead and give it a name. Let's just call this one 99. Let's just go with a convention like
you're
this.
scared of
Zero
dots,
nine
right?
three three. Yes, I am. I don't like dots. And this is what? Oh 04
Yeah, 913.
RC1. How about that?
Yep.
And we'll take out the hyphen just to make it a little bit easier. And we'll go next. And we'll go yes. And we'll keep that the same. And there we go. All the magic is happening behind the scenes. And if we're lucky in just a few seconds here, we will be able to click a button and kick off the actual DNN install process. But this sets up the environment and sets up a site locally here. And there we go. We got a button, visit website. And this one's gonna give us a little bit of complaining about the SSL certificate because it's local SSL. So we'll click that. And can I just gripe again here for a second? There's no user feedback to let you know anything's happened here. That's a browser
Right.
problem, but there we go. So now we've got the DNN install process. We'll do a really secure password here, and I'll put my email address in, and we'll do DNN 9.13.4 or C1, something like that. We'll leave it the default template. We'll do continue. And yeah, I don't really need that.
That NV QuickSight's a really cool tool. Who wrote that?
That was mostly me and Daniel. That was me on a weekend, and then Daniel ever since then. So there you go.
See, I'm the
Um,
marketing guy. I bring in
written
things
written
for
by
you.
David and refactored by me.
There you go.
I used it this morning just after
Mm,
8 a.m. and it worked flawlessly to install the release candidate. It was
nice.
so nice and quick and easy.
Yeah, and
Once
every couple months there's a little improvement here and there. One of the big ones I have done on it is the viewing existing sites, and you can go and delete them to clean up stuff. Just something that was on my
that
pain
was a
point list.
that
So
was a godsend.
yeah,
I
it's
at
really
one
cool to
point
have
I
it.
was over 30 test sites and that
Hmm.
cleanup showed up and I was like, thank
Yep.
you, thank you, thank you.
So this is great. Now we've got a DNN instance. So yeah, that's pretty quick. So what we are talking about, let's see, let's take this, let's go into edit mode, and we'll delete this module here off the page, just so that we have something in the recycle bin. Let's delete this one as well. And then we can go into recycle bin, and you'll see there is sorting now.
I
So that's
think on
nice.
all
And then the
columns.
same thing is true for users and stuff like that as well. So if this wasn't the same page, you could also click this as well. I think it could be improved a little bit, but it's a good start. And yeah,
And
module
for
done.
the one for users was done here, but also in the
And
users module.
in the roles module, I believe. So
Roles, right?
when you do this one and go to users in, and we only have one in here, but you can
Yeah.
actually, maybe it doesn't enable unless you have more than one. I don't know. But yeah, there we go. So these are, you can now sort them by those columns, which I only have one here.
We only
So
have one.
we would have
Okay.
to add another one. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
I have one additional thing that is worth calling attention to in the release notes here. We have changed the process to report security issues.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
there used to be an email address at the DNN software to report any security issues, and that would end up in the right hands. Now we are centralizing all of that into a GitHub security issue. So it used to be that if you try to open an issue that is a security issue, like David is doing here, it used to be email that email. Now we have a full form here with a lot more details and a system to manage the responses to that.
And I think there's a
So
couple other areas that were updated, like security. When we go into the security policy, when you see this used to reference an email address that you would email to. And for the plethora of reasons, that email address is no longer valid and would just point to the actual feature for reporting the security vulnerability now. So, and this has also been updated, I think, on DNN docs and a few other repos where it was mentioned as well.
everywhere we thought about, and if you have interactions with people on Discord or Slack or something, and you're used to just throw that email, then it would be this link instead.
Yep. So either this link or just tell them to go to issues, new
Mm.
issue, and then report a security vulnerability, and that'll lead them to the
Yep.
proper
I'm not
form. Yeah,
volunteering, but this sounds like a good idea for a quick little DNN community blog post.
it does sound like
Hmm.
a good idea.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for volunteering for that, there, Jeremy. Mhm. Let's see what else have we got. So yeah, please test away at that one and let anybody know via issues there if you run into anything there. Of course, good feedback is always welcome as well. Post those in the various social channels or Discord or Slack.
I
And
noticed the list of contributors increased. What do you
that's
think was
exactly
the
what I
cause
was
of
going to
that?
say.
Okay.
Yep. So like we have a lot of new names or names that we don't see that often in the contributors list, which is very nice to see. And I kind of see a trend like this, like after each conference, there's kind of a move to you do a little something. So it's cool to see.
Yeah, it's really nice to see when we get new contributors in too. 'Cause it's like, oh yeah, there are more users out there than we know and
Mhm.
see every day.
I like the fact that two or three of them were solving the pet peeve class of feature enhancements that
Mhm.
you don't often see addressed. I thought that was excellent.
Yep.
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly. Let's see what else we got. We got a few other things in the community. There was a new release of the form and list module, thanks to Daniel Veladas, and got that released and put out there. I don't remember what the main change was there, but it was some feature. Oh yeah,
It was a
the
request
export to
by, I think UFO. I can't remember who.
yeah, that's uh give me a second.
I
Paul,
think so.
uh, oh my goodness. His name is escaping me right
I'm
now.
confusing with another module actually.
Uh, this was the right one. Paul Cotteron,
Calderon.
Cotteron, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, he's been doing a few things in the community here and there, and he put a new couple new features in here. It looks like for exporting things, and Daniel was able to get the release out on that. So nice
That
job
was,
there.
if I remember correctly, in a co-coding session that, hey, I sent a PR some time ago, and when's the next release? And, you know what? Let's go take a look at it and merge one or two things and did a release there.
Yeah, and look, Timo did a pull request on this one as well.
Mhm.
So thanks to Timo for the first time contribution there on that repo. Let's see what else. There was a big release of the community forums module. Actually, a couple of releases since the last time we have met. There was the 8.1.0 release, the 8.1.1 release, and the 8.1.2. I think both of those um, last two there were in quick response to some bugs and things that needed to be addressed fairly quickly. So all three of those releases happened uh, fairly quickly. But if you haven't been out to the forums recently, let me just open another tab here. You'll see a lot of change there, and I'm logged in right now, so you'll have to ignore the fact that I'm logged in with the persona bar over there. But we go into, I don't know, some new, let's see, let's go to, I'm going to the wrong place. Let's go to not read, something I haven't read yet. Let's go over here. So you'll see a little bit of styling differences here and things cleaned up a little bit and different types of, again, I'm logged in as a moderator, so there's some features here that are just for moderators, but some styling changes and things like that that are in here. It's really, really nice to see the improvements there. They're constantly doing stuff. It's like every 5 seconds, it seems like I'm getting a PR notification or a review notification from that repo. So it's nice to see the activity out there. And I believe there are people actually using this module on their sites too. It's not just a DNN community used module there as well. So
I'll also outright comment in the last year, the changes that have been made have made it functional and useful again. It actually does good notifications. There's fast ways to get to what hasn't been read. I remember 2, 3 years ago, I kept trying to use the forums and just could not get my head around how to either catch up or see the new stuff. And now it's gotten easy again. It's very nice, the improvements over the last year, especially and recently.
yeah, I think we've probably said this several times as well, but I mean, I went and actually subscribed to all the forums that I was interested in following, the whole forums, so that I can get notifications, just like you were saying, because notifications are now pretty reliable on it. So at first I was like, okay, well, I'm getting bombarded by notifications. It's actually kind of a cool thing because then I can just kind of cherry pick and figure out what I can help somebody with and go out there and see it, or delete the others. But it's really good to see the activity. There's a ton of activity that goes on out here in the forums. So I'll encourage people to follow along, and even if it's something that you don't know the answer off the top of your head to, it's a powerful tool for you to go and try to find the answer, and so that you can reply. Maybe somebody will beat you to it, but that's okay. It's a learning process, right? So sometimes I'll pick something that I have no clue what the answer is, but I'll just go and kind of figure it out or try to figure it out and end up kind of learning in the process. So it's a good tool for that as well, because I'm telling you, people come up with stuff and scenarios that I could never dream of, out there. So it's nice to see. Oh wow, people do not think the way that I think. That's probably a good thing.
Your use case is not my use case.
Exactly. Yeah. So many environmental things and stuff like that too. You run into. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I never thought of doing it that way. Don't know
Yeah,
that I
like that
would, but
guy
it's
Steve
cool.
Karpik, he always comes up with a really unusual. Oh, sorry, Steve. I didn't see you there.
Hey, Steve, it's good to see you. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, we've got a couple of things. I'll mention briefly DNN Connect. So nothing official to announce yet, but I think we're not too far away from them announcing a new event for Europe next year. And word through the grapevine is it's not going to be in the same place. So keep your eyes and ears open, and you may see something nice and enticing for next year at DNN Connect. Over here on the state side of things, there's DNN Summit 2025 that's coming up February the 3rd through the 4th. I believe we've announced this a couple of times here, but if you didn't know, the call for speakers is out. And you can come down to on the homepage here, click on submit speaker session, and as has been the case with the last few years, Sessionize is being used. So you can pretty quickly and easily submit session for the event. Maybe you've never spoken at an actual event before like this, but if you haven't, I do encourage you to do so. You don't have to be in person to actually do it, I don't think. But there's an incentive this year for speakers. If you're looking at the event and you're going, okay, 6.99 in person. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. And then you start looking at the pricing for the lodging and you go, it might be a little much for you or something. Well, guess what? If you're speaking, that's covered, and so is your room. So basically, all you have to do is, get out there, and it's in Vegas, so it's usually a lot cheaper to fly to Vegas than a lot of other places in the U.S. So check it out and consider that for your speaking. Speak. It's a lot of fun, kind of similar to the forums. Pick a topic that you're interested in, but you may not know everything about it. As you're prepping for your presentation, you'll learn a lot in the process. There's no better way to learn than to teach other people, I think. So it's a great opportunity to do that. Of course, if you can't attend the event in person, by the way, can we just get an excitement round of applause for being in person again? Finally, I miss it. I really do. We had it at DNN Connect, but it's been since 2020. February of 2020 since we've been in person for DNN Summit, and that was in Orlando that year. It was like right before COVID really hit and shut everything down. So it's really nice to be back in person. But if you can't attend in person for whatever reason, you can still attend virtual, and I would encourage everybody to take advantage of the early bird registration here. It's not very expensive either way. So it's well worth the registration there. And that early bird is available through November the 22nd, it looks like here. And then the pricing will go up for that. But please register as quickly as you can, because that helps the organizers know that people are coming and can kind of plan accordingly. Being back in person, you can imagine the expenses are much greater in person. So there's also opportunities to sponsor the event. Our company set up as a sponsor again this year, and a few others there. But there's definitely room for more. So you can come out to the sponsors page and check out the different packages that they have for sponsorship and the benefits that you get. So this is another way for you to be able to help offset the tickets for the event, as well as just sponsor. And sometimes sponsoring just makes a lot of sense. So if you kind of look at this, for instance, bronze sponsor $700. Well, the event is $699. So you get a virtual ticket and you get to be a sponsor for basically just the price of attending the event, right? So kind of look at things that way as well to get a little bit extra bang for your buck there. Let's see. Anything else about DNN Summit that anybody would like to say? Okay, I think we've spent enough time on announcements here. So is there anything else in the community that we really need to highlight? Oh, I forgot to mention. There have been a few blog posts since last time. One's a follow up from DNN Connect out there, and I did that one. That was 2 months ago, though. Yeah. And then recently I posted this one. This is not really to toot my horn of a blog post, but I wanted to use this as an encouragement maybe for other people to blog, because I think being in the community and being so involved in everything, we forget these basic messages that we all know and feel like, oh yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, DNN is the obvious choice, whatever. But like sometimes stating the obvious uh, helps with people that are not so involved in the community, and maybe they just inherited a DNN instance, or they came into a new job and they are now having to manage a DNN site, and they don't know what we know and have experienced over years. So I think any kind of ideas like this for blogging is really helpful to get the word out there. There's nothing fancy about these blogs. I even used ChatGPT a little bit to help me with this, and Daniel Metler really offered the kind of basis of it. But Jeremy, I do use it sometimes for things like this, and it's really not a copy paste kind of situation. I have trouble starting from scratch, and it gives me a little bit of direction to go in. So I start going down the rabbit hole and
You
end up
said all the
writing
right
things
things
myself.
just now. I completely agree. And
Yeah.
yes, I do that too.
I think it's a very useful tool for that. But like,
I have this idea that
there's
it might be good for keyword search generation, but I'm not sure.
that is a perfect segue. So tonight, wherever you are in the world, the time zone for you, Marco is going to be bringing the hot stuff here in a minute and talk a little bit about keyword generation using AI. So, Marco, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you for joining again and presenting again. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your company before you get started there.
Very interesting.
Sounds almost
But if
silent,
you unmute,
kind of like
it's gonna be better.
yeah.
Forget to unmute.
You're still muted,
Sweet.
Marco.
You are?
There you
Ah,
go.
Let me just share real quick. Can you guys see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm Marco. I'm from Costa Rica. I have a small digital agency down here where we pretty much build content websites and we help businesses get on the first um, spots for search result pages for Google in Costa Rica. People mostly use Google search to search services and products, and we also provide marketing services related to Google Ads and Facebook and Instagram campaigns, starting with TikTok actually uh, recently, but that's pretty much what we've been doing. I've been using DNN to for over actually August the 2nd will be 13 years now working with DNN, and I'm so happy that somehow God enlightened me to make that choice 13 years ago, because it's been pretty much the biggest decision for my agency in my case, and it allow us to grow, build, and provide a great product to our customers. Okay. So, having said that, we're gonna get started with today's session. This session it's focused on something that, as an agency, not sure if people already went through this, but something that we did when ChatGPT first show up back in November the 30th, 2022. When AI pops up and a bunch of platforms start providing AI features for end users, and this thing starting to get hot, and in everybody's mouth. So the challenge for us as an agency was, how can we start getting our hands into this? And since we are a digital agency that creates websites content based, then we were like in a way forced to find a proper way to give something to our clients, especially and in that same effort teach them how to properly use this sort of tools, because I believe, since I'm dependent so much on the content that our clients want to publish on their websites, it's so important for them to realize and not only understand, but actually see the whole context of AI, and trying to you know, get it, get the whole point and be able to make smart decisions. So we come up with a, let's say it's an added value document that we provide to new clients, and we are already doing this with our existing ones, and we're getting very good feedback from our clients so far. Because what we do is that we come up with some prompts, and we generate, based on the output from those prompts, we generate a document that we share with the client, and it's pretty much like a guide on what sort of content and what type of content you can create. And we use AI right now pretty much for ideas and keyword generation. Okay, so we were able to make that jump, and instead of just looking at everybody using AI, then now we're able to say to everybody, our new clients, and new clients, especially new clients, get excited when we tell them that we're going to give them a document that is going to be based on AI, and it's going to be keyword and ideas generation for them to follow up whenever they have questions or problems getting started on content creation. So we take advantage of that document, and we explain our clients the proper use of AI content generation. And also we alert them, because as we spoke last month, Google now has a way to identify websites that use AI too much. And the biggest consequence right now is that you might get your website de-indexed from Google itself. So it's something that you have to think about before you start copying and paste content from this tool and other AI tools. So it's been great, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And we first spoke about this back in DNN Connect last May. We had a session about this, and I really hope you guys found this content useful. And whenever you guys have questions, we can have a last section of the presentation for question and answer. Okay. So what we're going to be talking on today, it's a small an introduction section about did you know? It's a very detailed information about AI. Then I'm going to give you guys an update, real quick update on search and AI, what's going on right now. I'm going to share with you guys what was our start point in order for my agency to start using AI as part of the process of creating new websites. And then we're going to talk about 3 types of prompts. It's going to be a total of 14 prompts that I'm going to be sharing. 5 basic prompts, 6 prompts based on the user personas, and 3 last prompts focus on keyword expansion. So that's pretty much what we use. We gather all the information coming up from those prompts, and we give the client this document that, like I mentioned before, it's a guide for them to create content and have good ideas. Because actually, on all the ones that we have created so far, it's so interesting how easy and fast we get so many ideas and good ideas for content, creation. So it's a great tool. We just have to learn. From my perspective, we just have to know what is the right time to use it, pretty much, right? So details about very important details about AI. Well, currently, OpenAI.com's audience, it's 65% male and 35% females. The largest group of visitors right now are between 25 and 34 years old, almost 35% of the whole audience right now. It's important to know that Microsoft invested $10 billion in OpenAI when it was first, getting their feet started. And they currently own 46% of stake of that company. Currently, ChatGPT is not able to access internet and consume information there, but you can. I'm not sure if you do already, but I already heard, rumors and comments about what people want. And at the end of the day, I think we're gonna get there, but it's confusing a little bit right now because OpenAI, ChatGPT, it's gonna start consuming eventually, I guess, internet or external links, and not just be limited to what it was trained on. And that definitely brings a question mark. How is they're gonna know what was generated for them back in for users in order for ChatGPT not to consume what they already generated. So it has its challenges, but if you ask me, probably they will get it somehow. It's a business; they have to get it. People will ask for it. So, but it's good to know that right now that's not an option. There are other options for that, but ChatGPT, it's not currently able to search and get information from the internet itself. Now, the current update, or their status quo about search and AI, we have three main search engines, let's say. We have Google, which it's already experimenting with SGE. It was the first name of this feature. Now it's called AIO, Artificial Intelligence Overview, and it's been rolled out already in the United States. And pretty much it's a feature where you search for something and you're going to get part of your results are going to be AI based, right? So that means that everybody on SEO, it's concerned, the SEO community, it's concerned a bit about the fact that people are going to stop visiting websites because Google is going to give their response or the answer for their questions back there, right there in the result pages. So they're just getting started with this feature, but it's a feature and it's AI based and it's from Google. Now, Bing offers AI-powered deep search, chat, summaries, image creation capabilities via Copilot, and it's using GPT version 4. And Baidu, it's the search engine from China. They have an AI chatbot and cloud development platform similar to what Google and Microsoft has. So that's like the current status quo for search and AI from the top players on this field. So what was our start point when we decided that it was time to get our hands on AI and try to find a way right now to get it implemented and get advantages from the benefits from AI? Well, we first started with an initial idea, and it was that it is actually right now still the same. AI tools like ChatGPT don't replace traditional research tools. So even though we come up with this document where we share with clients the internal processes that we run still, are the same. We haven't changed that. We just add a new step into that. Sorry about that. It's my dog. So we just add a new step into the process and, using AI, but we still use our regular standard process to get information about it. We use AI tools for ideas and added value generation at this point. Probably we might use AI for something else in the future, but this is a way for us to get our hands into this and starting to grow up this process and getting more ideas and try to get familiarized with this feature, with the benefits, and try to get more out of it. But that right now we pretty much use it for ideas and added value generation. What we've been able to notice is that we have been able to save countless hours on topic analysis, keyword rabbit holes that happens a lot, especially when you're doing keyword research for long tail keywords, and looking at competitors' websites. So we still do those process, but if we compare both, obviously it saved countless hours on those specific topics that we've been able to identify. And like I said before, guys, one of the things that I really wanted to accomplish was not only provide something to our clients, but also find a way, an efficient way to explain our clients how important it is to use AI tools properly, especially for content generation. So I think we found it so far because the feedback from our clients it's been really good. They are happy about the document. They use it like a guide to create content. And the interesting fact about the document is that we don't provide paragraphs or detailed content about something. We just provide questions, keywords, long tail keywords. We do provide the user persona profiles that we find and that we think that they are related to our client. So they can actually, when they create content, they can create content, but think about the person who is going to read that content. One thing is, let's create content about this product or service and just publish on the internet. But if we think a little bit deeper and we say who is going to be interested on this product or on this service, if we're able to get to that detail, then our content will be pretty much uh, created to fit this user persona profile. So, when people read the content, there are more chances for them to actually connect with it and hopefully get an action and get in contact with the business. We're gonna start now with the basic prompts. This is how I do it, how I did it, because when I first did this presentation for the DNN Connect, I found out that it was extremely boring. So I come up with a couple of different ideas to share this in a way that you guys can find it useful and not as boring as it was the first version that I come up with. So this is what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna use the first prompt as an example. I'm gonna show you guys the prompt, but I'm gonna show you guys the prompt with an example that we run using ChatGPT. I'm gonna mark with strong and underline the parts of the prompt that you guys can change. And at the bottom, you will find a hint, like a clue, for you guys to relate to the prompt and see what's the idea of the prompt itself. And the second slide will be an example of the output that we got from that prompt that we run. So the first prompt is this one, as you guys can see. There's the prompt. I underline and bold the part of the prompt that you guys can change. And at the bottom, you will find the hint about, what is this prompt about, okay? So this first prompt, it's because when we start a new client and when we start a new process, a new project with a client, one of the things that we ask the client is to give us the list of products and services. But unfortunately, not all the products and services are easy to create content with. Sometimes you get challenges to create good quality content. So based on those services and products, we ask the client to give us the top products and services they are selling. And if it's a new business, then we just ask for the top products and services they think it's going to sell the most, or they want to just push those products the most, right, to sell. So we're going to do an example with a client that we're currently working on. It's a company that sells solar panels down here in Costa Rica. So the first prompt is, what are the 5 most popular subtopics related to solar panels? So the reply we got, it's solar panel efficiency, cost and financing, solar panel installation, environmental impact, innovations, and future trends. So as you guys can see, something very simple, short. We also don't go for 10, 15 subtopics because I know AI, especially ChatGPT, will give us that. But we're not going to create a document for a client that is going to have 40 pages because they're not going to read it. So we have to come up with a document, a short document, like a brief, top 2 pages, something very short for them to go through. So we just try to focus on small and little numbers so we just don't get this a bunch of information and then just get lost into it because of the amount. So the second prompt, it's something that happens a lot as well. We have our topics, you're right? The main subtopics based on a main subject, but then we want to get more topics, but based on a specific topic that we already have. So in this scenario, it's the same prompt, but we're just going deep and we're trying to get more subtopics from a specific subject. In this case, I focus on environmental impact. That is one of the results we got from the first prompt. And the response we got, it's climate change and global warming. Such a big deal right now, and something that a client can definitely talk timeless hours over a blog, for example. Sustainable energy, different kinds of sustainable energy sources, pollution and waste management, biodiversity and ecosystem conservation, sustainable development, and green practices. So these are subtopics from environmental impact. That is a topic coming from the main product our client has, that it's solar panels. So as you guys can see, it has some pretty cool keywords that we can actually create content based on these, especially for a blog, you know. The prompt number 3, and I underline this without description because not sure if it happens to you guys when we use ChatGPT, but ChatGPT always tries to explain everything. So it gives you always a paragraph explaining you all the details of, if you ask things, he's gonna explain each of those things to you. So it gives you a big reply from your prompt. So if you don't want to get the details, you can just put this without description at the beginning of the prompt, and ChatGPT will just focus on giving you what you're asking. The prompt number 3, it's list without description the top 10 most popular keywords for the topic of solar panel efficiency. Now, we're talking about a subtopic, right? So I changed the subtopic. I'm going to go back to prompt number 1. So we just focus now on the first subtopic, solar panel efficiency, okay? So 10 most popular keywords for solar panel efficiency, and we get monocrystalline panels, polycrystalline panels, thin film technology, energy output, conversion rate, solar cell efficiency, temperature coefficient, light absorption, maximum power point, and degradation rate. So now we're getting deeper, and we can actually do this for each service of the client, and we can split the service in different topics, and then we can get specific keywords for each topic, so we can give the client more details about, okay, you can talk about this, but this, you can talk about all of these different subjects related to this main or subtopic, okay? Prompt number 4, list without description the top 10 most popular long tail keywords for the topic solar panel efficiency. Now, one thing that we notice, and probably you guys already did as well, is that in search, we have short keywords, and short keywords are pretty much 2 or 3 keywords, Most of those keywords are generic in a way, so it gives you a lot of traffic to your website if you are on the first positions for the search engine result pages, but also it gives you a lot of traffic that is not gonna convert, that is not gonna get contact with the business. So a good way to focus your content efforts, it's to focus on long tail keywords, because it's different when somebody is looking for something and it's using 5, 6, or 7 words on their keyword itself. So that means that that person knows what it's looking, and it's relevant and important to also be on those long tail keywords. So this prompt is focused on giving us long tail keywords for a specific topic, and not so much short and generic keywords like this ones that might be hard to get there because probably most of the generic keywords already have a really big amount of pages and websites trying to get there and be, the first spot. So it might take you more time to be on the first page of Google or on the search engine result pages than with a long tail keyword. Now, the prompt number 4 gave us this response, how to improve solar panel efficiency, best solar panel for high efficiency, efficiency comparison of solar panel types, factors affecting solar panel efficiency over time, impact of temperature on solar panel efficiency, and solar cell technology advancements. So they are long tail keywords, really good ideas. And if you notice, some of them are questions, actually. And one thing that you get from searching and digging and doing research on search, it's that a lot of people, when they go to Google or any other search engine, they use a lot the question format. So they do questions, it's not just a sentence. So it's good. And I always recommend this to our clients. It's really good to have on your website this sort of content on this format, question and answer, and be specific with the questions and also the answers so you can give a little bit more of context to the crawlers, but also to the end user because they did a question at the first place, and you're showing up different sort of questions and giving an answer. So it's in the same format as they were actually doing their initial search. So it's good, and it's a good practice to make sure that on our content we get from time to time, question and answer format content that allows people to get the answer for a specific question. Prompt number 5, and this is the last one for basic prompts. It's list without description the top 5 semantically related keywords and entities for the topic solar panel efficiency. Now, this prompt, it's about related keywords. Back in the old days when Google and any other search engine used to have the 10 blue links on the search engine result pages, and that's it. The way these search engines look for content on internet was pretty much related to keywords. But now we know that it's not enough to just use the keyword that that everybody's looking for on your page in a repeatedly way. You have to look for related content or terms and talk about that as well. So this prompt, it's focused on giving us related keywords to the specific subject that we are looking for. So for this prompt number 5, it gave us photovoltaic cells, maximum power point tracking, sun power, Tesla, solar, and energy conversion efficiency. So these are related keywords that we can definitely use on our content and just not, sound like a robot when people read our content and repeatedly mention the same keyword over and over again, because that was something that you used to do a long time ago to get on Google or any other search engine. But now you have to look for related keywords and talk about that as well. Cool. So now there's an option that you guys can implement the different prompts that we already went through, and it's called the onion methods. And it's pretty much just get the 5 prompts combined and just create one single query that is going to make ChatGPT give us all the results we were looking for, but in just one prompt instead of doing one at a time. So this is how it's going to look. I'm not go through it because it's the same thing that we've been talking about so far. But the onion method, it's an excellent way to maximize even more your time using ChatGPT to get keywords and content ideas. Now we're gonna move to the next 6 prompts, and those prompts are based on user personas. So user personas are pretty much profiles for potential customers. Okay, people that might be interested in looking for uh, the product or service the client provides. For us, this is really important to provide to the client because they need to know. Well, I'm not sure about you guys and your clients, but in my case, the biggest challenge I have every time I start a new website, it's the content, but not just the content, the quality of the content, you know? And I have been able to see by myself that if you help your client to identify the profiles, because it's hard to find businesses, especially if they're small or medium businesses. Some of them did, but not everybody. It's nice to see a client that knows the profiles for the potential clients, that are going to eventually buy their products or services. So I do believe that, and I have seen that in several cases with our own clients, that if you help your client to find out, okay, you have this product, solar panels, which profiles are the more interested on this product, and why, you know if you help your client getting those profiles, those user persona, it's gonna be easier for them to create content, because instead of just creating content out of your head, or because your product and you are the best seller, the best person to sell the product. But if you know the profile of the person in front of you, then you can focus on the things that are really hurting that person and will make them make a decision, right? So if we talk about solar panels, you will see it on the next prompt, on the next slide, but um, you will be able to find homeowners, right? So you can start talking to homeowners and focus on the weak points for them and why they are deciding to move to solar panel, right? And that conversation is different, and the quality of the content is so much better because you are able to make your client focus on create quality content, but thinking about that person that is looking for that product or service. So I believe these 6 prompts are uh, a very good way to help your client, a very easy way and very easy and fast way, get them to um, identify those user persona or potential clients profile, whatever you want to call it. But if you have them, you can just be able to be more specific. That's very important, but also create a higher quality content and talk to them directly, right? So the prompt number 1, it's okay, for the topic solar panels, give me 5 different types of user personas. We got 5: homeowners, commercial property owners, environmental enthusiasts, government and policymakers, and technology and energy investors. Okay, so now that we have that and we share this with our clients, they can actually identify, okay, I'm gonna be talking to commercial property owners in the following blog that we're gonna publish on the following article that we're gonna publish on the blog for our website. So when they sit down and start creating that content for that article, it's gonna be more specific details, and it's gonna be more it's gonna have more quality, because you're thinking of somebody in a specific than just thinking, I'm gonna just write this article for everybody. You know, like I said before, if you know the user persona, then you can just focus on your content, but talk about the things. And for me, this is very important. Uh, Talk about the weak points for each of those user personas. So actually, now that I'm talking about this, I'm thinking about a new prompt that I'm going to be adding to my prompt list later on after the session. And it's, ask ChatGPT to give me the main reasons why this user persona will buy a solar panel, for example. And I will be able to provide to the client more details about, okay, you're going to talk to homeowners. Yeah, go ahead, but talk about this because this is the things that makes homeowners actually make the decision and buy the product and service. And if you go to the internet, guys, and you search, look for any client you have and look to the internet and go and search for competitors. And let's try to find information as specific as this. It might be, I know, I'm not going to say that nobody's doing this, but in my country, in Costa Rica, there are a lot of, well, to actually, in the first place, Costa Rica, most of the market share for all services and products that you can think of, most of the market, it's rule or it's owned by small and medium business. We have a lot of entrepreneur here in Costa Rica. So if you go to the internet and search for a specific product, what you're gonna find is a bunch of websites that talk about a couple of paragraphs about the product or the service and just a contact form or a call to action, but not specific. And that it's such a it has such big potential to get into Google because you're gonna start being specific, and it has so many benefits. So for us, this part is really important to give our clients because we give them the possibility to be specific and create high quality content. Now, the second prompt is for solar panels. List 5 keywords each for the different types of user persona that previously mentioned. So now we're creating keywords based on each of the user personas. So for homeowners, we have home solar installation, residential solar panels, solar energy savings, solar panel cost, solar panel rebates. And again, these are keywords, and if you see it, residential, cost, savings, home, they are all pretty good keywords to talk about on a website that sells solar panels, right? From number 3, like I told you guys before, most of people get into a search engine because they have a question. So it's a good idea to get questions, ideas as well. So on this prompt, we ask ChatGPT to give us for each user persona a list of the 5 most important questions that user persona may have about their specific subject. Now, for homeowners, we have what are the total costs of installing solar panels on my home? How much can I expect to save on electricity bills with solar panels? Very specific questions, guys, and pretty good ones, actually. What are the available incentives or rebates for residential solar installations? How do I choose the right type of solar panels for my home? What is the expected lifespan of solar panels and what kind of maintenance is required? When we do questions, we get even more high quality keywords to talk about, and more ideas. Prompt number 4, for each question, list above for each persona, list 5 keywords and put them in a table. Create 1 table for each user persona. So now we're asking ChatGPT to create tables for us. So we can just copy and paste the table. But, again, we're copying and pasting on the document that we send to our clients, not to a web page. Now for this prompt, for example, we got keywords, ideas that we provide to our client in order for them to provide an accurate response to the question. So what are the total costs of installing solar panels on my home? So we got solar panel cost, installation cost, home solar cost, solar installation price, solar system expense. Prompt number 5. For each question listed above, for each persona, list 3 long tail keywords to target and put them in a table. Create one table for each user persona. I did post the table on this one. So we got the question on the left side, and we have the long tail keywords on the right-hand side. Again, more content ideas to generate in order to generate more information about a very specific content that we're trying to get read by homeowners on the internet, for example. And the last prompt from this user persona section, for the topic of solar panels, give me 5 keywords each for the different types of searcher intent that a homeowner will be searching for. When people search information on the internet, as you already know, there is an initial intent. So some people just navigate through a website, or people just do a search to get information about it. So also, some people do search to make a transaction, because that's the idea. So we can get keywords based on a subject, but we can get keywords based on the searcher intent for that user persona profile. So for example, for homeowners, if they are doing an informational intent on search engines, how do solar panels work? Benefits of installing solar panels at home. Solar panel maintenance tips. If they're doing navigational intent, best solar panel installation companies near me. Top-rated solar panel brands. Local solar energy rebates and incentives. I don't know it's in the US, but in Costa Rica, if you get to install solar panels at your home, besides the fact that, you stop paying pretty much the electricity bill, you get benefits, taxes benefits, in order to encourage the people to start moving forward on this, especially businesses, right? Now, moving forward, this is the last 3 prompts I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and they are related to keyword expansion. Like I mentioned before, we have to avoid, in this case, for this client, we have to avoid just talking about solar panels, solar panels, solar panels all over, So we have to give some diversity on our keywords. So we have to talk about related terms. And one way to do this is with expansion keywords. So the first prompt is ask ChatGPT to give us keywords, but we're going to use question patterns. So in this case, we're asking to generate 10 keywords for the topic solar panels that contain any or all of the following: who, what, where, why, how, are, can, do, does, and will. And I didn't put the whole 10, just 7, but they're all questions, pretty good ones. How do solar panels work? What are the benefits of solar panels? Where can I find solar panel installers? Why should I install solar panels? Are solar panels worth the investment? Can solar panels reduce my electricity bills? Do solar panels require maintenance? Really good ones. And there are questions that we can use on our content. The second prompt is focus on comparison patterns, right? So well, actually the end user do use this sort of hit keywords on their search. So we're asking to generate 10 keywords for the topic solar panels that contain any or all of the following: for, versus, alternative, best, top, and review. So when every year we to all of our clients, every 12 months, we provide an SEO status report of the website to our clients. It's cost-free. It's part of our added value. And the idea of that report is, to get the client to get familiarized with the people who are visiting their website. And one of the things that we provide is the list of keywords that Google Search Console provides on the performance section. Okay. And one of the things that I noticed doing this report for every of our clients over the years is the repetitive usage of these keywords that you guys see on that prompt. When somebody it's more like, okay, I'm almost there, I'm almost sure I'm gonna buy this up, people start looking for reviews, start looking for top providers, start looking for the best option, the best travel agency to go to Europe, something like that, versus comparing different products, alternative and for as well. So from this prompt, we got best solar panels for residential use, top rated solar panels 2024, solar panels versus traditional energy sources, review of top solar panel brands, best solar panel alternatives for homes, top solar panel options for energy savings, and review of solar panel installation companies, right? As again, pretty good subjects to get content created on a page. And if you mix this up with the user persona, which we haven't, by the way, but if you mix this prompt with each of the user persona and you include that user persona on the prompt, you might get keywords, very good keywords, in order for you to create a section of your website where you just don't talk about the service or the product, but you talk to the homeowner, right? Or you talk to the commercial business owner, and you can talk so much about and you can create so much high quality content just getting these ideas on the first place, right? And the last prompt, guys, I'm gonna share with you today. Uh, it's a very specific keyword that comes from the previous keyword, the keyword prompt, sorry. And it's for the word that I have seen people uses the most, and it's the word best, right? So I asked ChatGPT to give us solar panel for the topic solar panels. Give us 10 top keywords that include the word best. So we have best solar panels for residential use, best solar panel for home efficiency, best solar panel brands 2024, best solar panels for high energy output, best solar panels for sunny climates, best solar panel systems for low budget, best solar panels for small homes. Okay, so wrapping up things, guys. After we get all this information, we come up with a document that we actually share to our clients, and we do have a meeting with them, a 1 hour meeting in which we actually explain all this content, and we try to, give them the opportunity to ask questions and understand the whole reason of why we're doing this, because on that meeting we emphasize on the fact that they can just copy and paste content coming from AI and just put it on a web page, and just do that a lot of times because you might get the index from search engines. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys like it. I'm gonna just be quiet and let you guys ask me any questions you may have at this point.
Marco, that was awesome. We've done a few things like that recently, and haven't used AI as much or this focus for this kind of thing. But one of the things I wanted to ask is, if you don't mind or it's possible, can you show us what the document looks like that you show to the client? Do you have
Yeah.
it handy, and is it okay if we see that?
Yes, definitely.
Because I see what you're driving at. It's just I'm having problems picturing what you're putting in
we
front of the
no,
clients. The
that's
biggest thing
fine.
we run into is if we ask them to do too much homework, it never gets done. We have to give them stuff in small pieces.
Yes.
So hopefully none of my clients is watching this video and hearing that I criticize them like that. But,
Don't worry, man. I don't think they don't worry. But you know, we do have two formats. It's in Spanish, so I apologize in advance for that.
no, that's fine.
All our
I'm
clients are
just
Spanish
looking for like
based.
the layout and the structure. What does it look like when it gets in
Well,
front of the client?
for people who we identify that are not tech wise, you know, we do a PPT, a presentation. We try to summarize as much as possible. So this is an example of one that we just recently shared with a client that we are working with. It's a slide presentation, and it's for an insurance, not company, but an agent. Because in Costa Rica, we have like a public insurance company, the state company, let's say. And we also have private companies, and the public company for insurance, they have agents that sell out the different types of insurance. So this is an agent. So what we do is that first we explain our client, very important, what it's the idea of the document. We emphasize of the fact that Google severely penalize websites that abuse ChatGPT or AI content. I'm not saying not to use it,
doing this
but
interactively with them?
yes, on a meeting.
Oh, okay.
We send the document and then we schedule a meeting, but we do the presentation format for people that we know they are not very techy. They're not tech. I mean, we just want to like go through that with them. If the client wants to have us create the same document for other services, then that has an extra cost. And you know, this is the insurance part. So we just show, in this case, we show the 10 sub topics related to insurance, then 10 keywords, popular keywords about insurance. Then we share with them the user persona profile, and we add a description that comes from ChatGPT. So they can identify and start having this a scenario where, you know, they can profile and, you know, direct the content to these different potential clients. And then we share with them the most frequent questions based on each profile. So we go through each and we show that to them. Then, and this part is really important to us, the 10 keywords, but on question format, you know, all questions, so they can have an idea of what type of content they want to create. And then we go to the versus for alternative best top review keywords, which at the end, it's most of the best. It was one of the best prompts that we get because we get so many good keywords and ideas over there. And that's it. You know, for a client that it's really like not tech. Now, if we identify the client that it's techie and it's, you know, it's interested on the subject, then we come, sorry, then we come up with a document, a Word document with more details and more information for them to consume. Let me just show you one. This is a template. This is in English because it was a template that we used or that we shared back in the DNN Connect. So we have the client name, the business type. We give them the main subtopics. Then we give them subtopics. We give them keywords related for a specific subtopic. And Jeremy, again, this is based on a previous feedback they give us because we ask for the top list of services and products, and we ask them to tell us, okay, from that list, tell me which one is the hot sellers, right? Because we're going to focus on on the main product. We do this just for one product because if we do that for everyone, for each one, it will be like endless, right? Then we share the user persona profiles. And based on each of the user persona, we share the keywords. Then we go to the frequently questions, to the frequent questions for each user persona profile. And then based on the search intent, as I mentioned before, it's informational intent, navigational intent, commercial investigation intent, transactional intent, and local intent. So this is where actually people are looking for local business to visit, right? When you specify city or region or location, for example, or the famous near me word.
Yeah.
And this is the document. This is the other format we used to work with.
This is amazing to me. You guys put a lot of work into this. I do have, if you don't mind, one other question about your prompting.
Yeah.
Yours is similar to ours. It's very conversational, and it's kind of bothered me as a programmer. I haven't yet noticed. Maybe it's out there and I haven't found it yet. Have you found that ChatGPT's interface, are there any tokens, parameters, attributes, keywords? Is there anything going on now that you don't have to make it so conversational? Like as an example, you did the without description that surprised me because I never thought of that. But
Yeah.
is there any kind of like slash commands or something that do that type of thing, or do you just have to keep everything conversational and
Yeah.
figure it out by
Well,
trial and error?
yes, I haven't heard of anything that makes the prompt less conversational, but I do heard and I've seen a couple of webinars about it, and people talk about this, that if you want to get a prompt better, you can use ChatGPT to do that. So you can just provide the prompt and you can actually ask ChatGPT, okay, help me make this better. Ask me 10 questions.
So ChatGPT will AI help you with your ChatGPT prompting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think
Yeah.
I've sort of done that occasionally.
Yeah, that's something that I heard. But there's, so far from my knowledge, there are no like tokens or shortcuts to not be that specific. I do use onion method that I mentioned before,
That was
and that
cool. We've done that.
helps me make the actual prompt faster. But the bad thing about that is that you can just move between steps. You have to go from beginning to the end right there. So if you want to change something in the middle, because based on the reply you got, you have to rerun the whole method again, right?
Yeah. Very interesting. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Somebody else? Well,
Very cool stuff, Marco.
thank you, guys.
Very cool. I hope everybody enjoyed this. And if you have any follow-up questions, Marco, I know you shared contact information on your first slide there. So feel free to reach out to Marco. I'm sure he'll be glad to help you out. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time. Happy DNNing.
Cool. See you soon.
Okay.
See you guys.
Good night, all.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks.
Seeing you.
Thank-
Thanks.